In the Moorish Holy Quran, peace, it talks about John the Baptist veiling himself, you know what I'm saying, from a public that was unstable and ungrateful. For him, you know what I'm saying, allowing them and letting them know that the king was going to be coming and that they would, prepare for the king. You know what I'm saying? And as he ran off, it states that he veiled himself. In other words, he hid himself, you know what I'm saying, where the people could no longer see him, where they could no longer chase him to put harm on him or whatever. Well, it's the same type of thing with the Moorish Science, you understand? Because Moorish Science itself is a veil. You know what I mean? It veils you. You know what I'm saying? Those who have proclaimed their nationality, those who are under the prophet's voice, you are veiled by, you know what I'm saying, your nationality and your divine creed. And what I mean by that is that it separates you. It hides you from an environment and a society, well, in an environment and surroundings that the public is unstable and ungrateful in. In other words, you know what I'm saying, black, colored, and Negro, you understand, are labels, of course. Those labels, though, those labels have vibration, frequency, and energies attached to them. You understand what I mean? And these black, colored, and Negro, labels actually have characteristics attached to them. You know what I'm saying? Each one has a character that, you know what I'm saying, is attached to that label. And when you take on the label, you identify and take on the character. There's a great man named Henry Dumas, a poet, who made a poem a long time ago. And in the poem, it says something like, the greatest role ever created by the West was the Negro, and the greatest actor to play the role was the nigger. So that's what I'm saying. Understand that Moorish Science veils you from the predicaments and the ailments that come along with black, colored, and Negro. You understand what I'm saying? Because, see, those are character references. And when, as a Moorish American and proclaiming your nationality, and Moorish American, your free national name itself has a vibration and an energy, you know what I'm saying, a frequency that's connected to it. And it's counterculture. It's counter opposite of black, colored, and Negro. You understand what I'm saying? And being under those guises of black, colored, and Negro, you have to also understand that the surrounding that you are in as well makes up and helps due to the character of black, colored, and Negro. You see what I'm saying? So these things are very well understood by Moorish Americans and Moorish scientists. You got to understand that black, colored, and Negro are inventions. They're productions. You understand what I'm saying? They were made by other men. European men took man and broke him down and rebuilt him up as a socially made object. You understand what I'm saying? That's what we have become through slavery. Slavery turned us into objects. It took away the humanity from us and turned us into an object. You understand what I'm saying? A socially obligated being, a social being. Because all we deal with, all the black, colored, and Negro deals with is social things. And social things in relation to, society, as far as materialism and cars and partying and so on and so forth. This is the condition of black, colored, and Negro. You know what I'm saying? They have character references that come along with it. So how does Moorish America, or how does the Moorish Science and the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali veil you? It veils you because it separates your character and conduct from Ray, you know what I'm saying? From whoever. It separates your conduct. You won't, as a Moorish American, your pants will not be sagging. You will not be using particular types of foul language in the midst of grandmothers and children and so on and so forth. You will not be carrying guns around and doing violent things as a Moorish American. You just won't do it. So that alone, your conduct alone, changes the condition, changes how you may be dealt with or not dealt with at all. You won't get any molestation. You won't get caught up in the public eye. But there is scrutiny. Because, see, this information, this Moorish Science, if it's not under the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, you will see the discrepancies in it. You will see all of the games that people play utilizing Moorish Science and utilizing the name, the signs, and the symbols for their own personal gains. And what it does is it puts a taint on the real members of the Moorish Science Temple of America and the Moorish society itself. So it is people like myself and others who are here to kind of talk about these things and make sure you can identify the Prophet Noble Drew Ali from, you know what I'm saying, other things. See, we don't use words like sovereign. Those aren't our words. We don't talk about sovereignty. You understand what I'm saying? It's just certain things we don't discuss or we don't deal with. We don't talk about allodial titles. You know what I'm saying? We don't deal with those things. There are those who deal with it, but we don't deal with those things in the Moorish Science Temple of America because the Prophet set it up a totally different way, in a way in which that wasn't going to cause any confusion in the government or attempt to overthrow the government. Why would you attempt to overthrow what you're a part of? You understand what I mean? So again, this information can value because, see, black has a vibration and the frequency that comes with it. Colored has a vibration and the frequency. Negro has a vibration and the frequency. And these vibrations and frequencies are conducts. And they're not taught. They just come along with the name. You know what I'm saying? They just come along. It's just something, when you take on the name, you take on the context and you take on the frequency of the name. You got to remember, these names that are put on us were thoughts from someone else and put on us and placed on us. You understand the science of thought and you understand the science of concentration and focus. If I focus on something hard enough, I can change the condition of that situation or that being or that thing. You see what I'm saying? And then if I can have that being or that thing buy into my concentrated focus, then I got them. And that's exactly what happened. See, black, colored, and Negro, again, are frequencies. And when you buy into them, you begin to act on a particular frequency. And this frequency is what allows the devil or the system, the beast, to do what they do to us. Beat us to death, kill us, you know what I'm saying, lock us up at tremendous rates, and so on and so forth. Because not having knowledge of yourself doesn't allow you to move in a veiled state. When you have knowledge of self, you become hidden. You become invisible to an unstable and unpublic, to an unstable and ungrateful public. You become invisible. You become invisible, period. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't mean that in a negative way. Where people will say, well, brother, well, what about the brother in St. Louis, the brother Mansaw? But he was a Moorish American. He got murdered. Yeah, he wasn't in his garb. He wasn't in his flow. He wasn't in his fez and so on and so forth. He wasn't in his uplifting character. He wasn't doing what the prophet showed him to do, which is being himself. He wasn't being himself. You understand what I'm saying? To my estimation. You know what I mean? He was out and about, he was in an environment, and he was doing certain things in an environment, or he was hanging out in an environment where certain things occur. You see what I'm saying? So again, environment as well has frequencies and vibrations that aid to, you know what I'm saying, black, colored, and Negro. And you have to be careful because when you walk into an environment, you can take on the vibration of the environment. Perfect example, you can go to somebody's house and you chilling, you were just in a regular mood, they got music playing and nothing is, you just chilling. Then all of a sudden your foot starts tapping. When your foot starts tapping, you have bought into the vibration that's taking place around you and your surroundings. So you have to be careful about the same thing when you're out in the world and you're around certain types of information and certain types of energy. You have to be careful how you draw it up. You understand what I'm saying? So allow your Moorish science, allow your nationality and divine creed to be that which frees you, that which veils you and keeps you separated from the ignorance and keeps you separated from the darkness, because our nationality is our light. You understand what I'm saying? The Noble Jewali is a light for us. You understand? So we turn on the light and we become the light. We become the revealers as well. So I want you to understand that. Understand that, you know what I'm saying? You can veil yourself through your conduct, through your actions. You have to use those tools that's sitting in the workshop of the mind. You have to use that compass, that square, and that axe, as well as plumbing the line and so on and so forth. These things are important, that you understand, that you maintain your security. It's like, your nationality and your divine creed is like your spiritual armor, because I talked about spiritual armor at one time before. It's your spiritual armor. It has spirit attached to it. There's powers attached to your nationality and divine creed. Why? Because it is what Allah created. Allah created nationality. So number one, you're being exactly who you are, that Allah created, not black, colored, Negro, what man has made. You are being yourself. Man, coming from Allah, knowing his national name, because Allah made nations and tribes, then you're on point. You're being exactly who you're supposed to be. But coming into the existence of who you are by being a made man from another man who's giving you a label, and the label has a meaning and it has a vibration and a frequency, you can never get to the true knowledge of yourself by taking on those labels. You understand what I'm saying? It won't allow you to get to the true knowledge of yourself unless you are adequately and honestly seeking to get that information. And if you're seeking to get it, then you will get it. You understand? So with that being stated, I just want you to know and understand that your nationality is the veil. It keeps you in line in the dues of righteousness as well. And others who look at you from the outside, the beast system, when they look at you, they see that you are not black, colored, and Negro. They know it by the way you look, the way you carry yourself, your conduct, and your signs and symbols that adore your body. You understand what I'm saying? Because an order will recognize those signs and symbols. They may not know what signs and symbols mean, what they mean to us, but they recognize that we're coming from something much greater than, just being black, colored, and Negro. So with that being said, stop being black, colored, and Negro. Proclaim your nationality. The only thing left for you is the Moorish Science Temple of America. Remember, all these other organizations right now that's around, they have a living leader. And when that leader goes, those organizations crumble. But the beautiful thing about the Moorish Science Temple of America is that Allah alone leads this movement. There are no leaders that lead the whole movement that everybody has to put their worship and their personality worship towards. It doesn't happen. It's not here like that. So understand that. So with that being stated, peace.